Good evening, Ravensport. You're listening to the nightly broadcast of the Towner Hour. You're tuned into WRPE 880 Talk Radio. I'm Jackie Towner.
And I'm Heather Williams. We'll be with you for the next hour. Jackie, you have to let me tell them the good news.
Go right ahead.
We don't have a theme show.
Thank you, Jay. Our producer, Jay Coleman, is here in the studio with us, grinning from ear to ear.
The station manager has decided not to give us the topic of the discussion this month. The theme of spring cleaning your life has been unfortunately given to our friend and coworker Bob Ivor of Early Ivory Morning.
And you know, I hate to see Bob suffer, but it feels so good to be free from the evils of station interference.
So we have a free show. Why don't all you great people out in this sleepy little town give us a call? What's on your mind? What do you want to talk about? You can reach us at 207-387-0850. And our producer Jay will put you right through.
We've actually already got a caller waiting.
Oh, really? Hello, you're live with the Towner Hour.
Oh my god, this is exciting. I'm talking to Jackie Towner.
Indeed you are. I think you won an award for the fastest caller. What's your name, ma'am?
Deb. And yeah, I've had your number written down. I'm a long-time listener, and I've always wanted to call in, but I just never have.
Well, what did you want to talk about today, Deb?
I just wanted to say thanks, you know?
Thanks for what?
Well, just for keeping me company. I spend a lot of hours in a cubicle, and I live alone, but when I tune in, I always get to hear your voices. You guys have kind of become, like, close friends.
Deb, you have no idea how happy that makes me.
Yeah, really. I mean, we get a lot of callers on this show, but it's nice to be able to hear we're making a difference.
You know you're always welcome to call in, Deb. Save us from theme shows and give us another reason to smile.
I don't know. It took a lot to get me to call in today. I was debating all day and even through your broadcast this afternoon whether or not I should.
Deb? Sorry, Jackie, do you mind if I,
Go right ahead, kid.
Deb? We'd love it if you called in. These nights are slow, and it's a killer, because everyone's asleep, so we don't get a lot of calls. That being said, if you'd like to pop in sometime and keep us company like we've kept you company, I think I speak for all of us by saying that we'd love that.
We would.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, then I will. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thank you for calling and brightening our night, Deb. We hope to hear from you again. God, I could use more of those. That would make everything feel so much better.
I'll say.
And check out Jay. Not looking for your own show, huh, kid?
Not at all.
Well, folks, we're still in search of a topic. Why don't you call in and give us one? Once again, that number is 207-387-0850. We'll be waiting. All right, Heather, why don't we cut to that copy from the Arrington Institute?
Sure, why not? Some of you may remember that Dr. Harold Arrington was on the show last month right before Valentine's Day. The Arrington Institute has been graciously funding the search for Jacob Whitten. Jacob went missing just before New Year's nearly 3 months ago now. And while many have started to give up hope, the Institute would like to express its gratitude to the men and women still volunteering their time in Meacham County, the Rose, and Alderwood Forest.
The Institute would also like us to recognize those who have been aiding in the search in the neighboring towns of Clarksdale, Waterloo, and Toluca Falls. There have been a few noise complaints from people living in the vicinity of Willow Mountains regarding helicopters and other aerial vehicles. We want to make sure that all you know this will be temporary, as they're doing passes over the area still canvassing for Jacob. Jay, do we have any callers?
We've got Alan on line 2.
Hello, Alan. You're live with the Towner Hour.
Hey guys, listen, I don't want to speak bad about anyone who is still missing, but I've seen some crazy stuff out in Alderwood, and if that's where Jacob went, then I don't think anyone's ever going to find him.
Alan, I'm sorry, but we can't have you on the air if you're going to be spreading conspiracy theories.
I'm not spreading conspiracy theories. That's a little hypocritical, Heather, considering Jacob used to be on all the time and all he did was talk about monsters and ghosts.
That's unfair. Jacob was a friend to the show and the station. Jay, dump this call.
If you remember Holly Winter and what happened a few years back, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Heather, let him talk.
No one wants to make the comparison, but I was there for it, and it is a comparison that needs to be made.
As many of our lifelong residents know, 5 years ago... 6 years ago, 11-year-old Holly Winter went missing on Elkhart Road, right in the heart of Alderwood Forest. Her father, Michael Winter, went missing several days later in the same area. Neither have been seen since, and I don't think the case was ever closed.
It wasn't. I still get calls from time to time. There's a detective over there, Detective Carter. She hasn't ever really let the case go.
You said you were there for what happened with Holly? How?
My wife. ex-wife, Diana. She was married to Michael Winter at one time. Holly's my stepdaughter.
Alan Brooks?
Yes.
I remember seeing your face in the papers.
We never found a single clue as to where Holly went. After the car crash, she was gone, and nobody ever saw her again. There wasn't any blood, any footprints, a piece of her clothes, nothing. 1 minute she was here, the next she was nowhere. Same thing with Michael. Alderwood is evil. It's got something in it. You get off the paths, and you can feel something watching you. It's snaking around and breathing down your neck. And if that's where Jacob went, you're never going to hear from him again.
Well, I'm hoping he didn't.
Yeah, look, I already took up too much of your time. I just felt the need to call in and say what nobody wants to say.
No, we don't.
Well, we'll see how far that gets. When it's been 6 years and you're still looking for Jacob, thanks for having me on, guys.
Jay, do me a favor.
Sure thing.
Don't put any more of those guys on tonight.
Heather?
No! I don't want anyone else spewing wild theories about what happened to Jacob. It isn't right.
Jay, what do you think?
All the lines are full, and they all want to talk about Jacob.
Jackie, don't. Let's just go to a commercial.
And then what, Heather? We have a free show today. We didn't plan anything. We've got another 50 minutes to fill. What do you want to do?
I don't know.
Hello, line 1. You're live with the Towner Hour.
Hello, Ravensport.
Hello to you. What's your name?
You guys know Jacob is probably just dead, right?
Oh, yeah? What makes you say that?
Well, I mean, you heard what the last guy said.
And that makes you think he's dead?
Yeah. I saw some of his haunted hangout videos on YouTube. They're pretty awful, and they don't prove anything.
I don't know about that. Did you see that thing about the puppet? If you listen really closely, you can almost hear...
Heather, just hang up on him?
Jay!
Okay, I'll screen them better.
Line 3, you're live on the air.
Am I on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, personally, I think the whole thing is just one big hoax so he can get more subscribers.
Wait a minute. Is this?
Ernest Klein of Ernest Klein's Animal Feed Barn. Yes, it is.
You can't seriously believe this is all a hoax.
I do certainly do.
You think he's putting his friends, family, and loved ones through hell just so he can get more followers? Not to mention the police, the Arrington Institute, and everyone else that's gotten involved since he went missing.
It seems like the kind of thing Jacob would do.
Jackie!
The man's entitled to his opinion, Heather. As a matter of fact, let's make the topic of discussion for this show Jacob Witten.
No!
Ernest, if Jacob's really just pulling our leg, where do you think he is?
I don't know, maybe in a cave up in the Willows? Or maybe in a motel just past Meacham? Has anyone checked there?
You know, I don't think anybody wants to.
I agree with you there.
Jackie?
I mean, he was always good at getting into places that were off limits. He could be anywhere.
Well, have you checked your attic?
You know, maybe I should.
Jackie?
What's wrong, Jay? Don't tell me you're siding with Heather on all this.
He better be. You're being an asshole.
Hey, Heather.
Jackie, we have Alice Witten on line 1, Jacob's sister.
Ernest, I'm gonna have to call you back. Alice, you're live on the air.
I don't even know what to say to all of you.
Alice, look, I didn't mean to...
Let me speak. I appreciate this station and this show for keeping Jacob in the public eye. The longer it's talked about, the better chance we have of finding my brother. But this isn't keeping it in the public eye. This is you using what's happened to my brother as cheap entertainment to boost your ratings, and I won't have it. I listen to this station sometimes when I'm having trouble sleeping, but this is the last thing I want to hear before I close my eyes.
Alice.
Jacob's gone. I don't know if he's ever coming back, but I have to hope. That's all I have left.
Alice, we didn't mean to. This spiraled out of control tonight, and I'm so sorry we let it.
It was mainly me. I was insensitive tonight. I jumped for the story, and I didn't think about how it would affect you or everyone else here in town who's still hoping he gets home safe. I'm sorry.
I appreciate everything you all have done for Jacob over the past months, but I wish you all would talk about him less like a news story and more like a person. There's so many beautiful things about him.
Well, why don't you take the time to share some of those with us now?
Yeah. Sure. When we were little, we used to spend summers at our grandma's. We played with some of our cousins and built pillow forts and stay up all night watching cartoons. He always wanted a tree house, but there was no one old enough and tall enough to help him make it in the old oak tree Grandma had out back. And so he make his own little house on the ground, and he used spare wood left over from when a storm knocked over Grandpa's tool shed. We spent a lot of days in there making up adventures and stories, pretending we were heroes. Jacob always been looking for adventure. And when we found out he was missing, that was the first place I went. I knew it was silly, but well, you know.
Thank you for calling in, Alice. I'm just sorry that you had to.
I'm glad I did. Good night to you all.
Good night.
Good night. Wow.
Yeah,
You guys okay?
Yeah, I screwed up tonight.
you really did. But I'm glad you could see that.
Well, we're overdue for a commercial break, so we're going to give this station over to the sponsors for a minute. But when we come back, we're still in search of a topic of discussion.
We could use a new one.
Amen to that. We'll be back in a minute, folks. Hey there, Jackie Towner here. If you're listening to one of our previously recorded broadcasts online and you like what you hear, please subscribe. And if you want to leave us a review or a like or anything like that, I know that Jay will be more than happy to take a look at every single one of them. Thanks for listening to WRPE 880 AM.